50 or some
Yeah,
shit, you know?
yeah, that's exactly what you got. Because I even mentioned Morgan Jones, and Coach corrected me quick. She was like, she's been on the team for 2 years now. I was like, okay, because I thought she debuted with Win. She's like, no, she's been on the varsity team for 2 years. I said, okay, haven't seen much of her, but whatever. Do we have a
Uh,
halftime show?
We would like to welcome you inside the William Westfield Gymnasium for tonight's contest between the 8-7 Watchung Hills Warriors and your undefeated 15-0 Franklin Lady Warriors. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Sturgio alongside Scott Harrell, Howard Gaber, owner and producer of the HSG Network, on the controls tonight. We'll start off with the Watchung Hills varsity girls starting lineup, starting with number 1, Jaden Baltuck. Number 2, Mahogany Jenkins. Number 5, Scarlett Glasser-Nels. Number 10, Alexa Santo. And number 20, McKenna Frey. As they get introduced by our PA announcer, and in just a second or two, we will get the Franklin Warriors starters here tonight for this contest. 15-0 taking on 8-7. And, of course, the coaches is Coach Reese is your head coach. Coach Jeff Dieleman is the varsity assistant coach. Dominic Ocello, Robert Murphy, and Kelly Hutchinson for the Watchung Hills Warriors. So it's Warriors against Warriors here tonight.
Warrior
Scott,
v. Warrior.
And on your screen right now at home, the starters for your 15-0 juggernaut of a team, the Franklin Warriors. Diamond Miller, obviously 6'3" senior. Tiana Jackson at guard, 5'9" senior. Kiana Skank, guard, standing at 5'8", junior. Kennedy Skank, her sister, standing at 5'8", she's a junior. And, of course, the freshman star, Christina Majette, the center, standing 5'10". Scott, I say juggernaut, and I say that with all due respect to the Watchung Hills girls team, but they're about to get busy here tonight. And, of course, the coaching staff for the Franklin Warrior girls. Head coach Audrey Taylor getting these girls, keeping them in line. The assistant coaches, Dorcas Miller Edwards, Alicia Kavanaugh, Leslie Salas, and Serena Jackson.
Dave, you said it right. Juggernaut is a word here that if you look in the dictionary, you will find the Franklin Lady Warriors picture right there. Tonight, I spoke with the Watchung Warriors head coach, Coach Reese, and he said without a doubt they have to play a perfect game to be in this competition against the Warriors. They come in after facing them once in their own house and literally getting the doors blown off. Now, they said they feel as if they can keep the game close, they may be ready for this competition. However, they come in undersized, and they know they're going to have to keep an up-tempo, defensive perimeter game going on to stay in it. The Lady Warriors, well, it's all about team defense and not turning it over in transition. They're getting a lot of transitional opportunities, but they have to capitalize on them all as well. I spoke with Coach Taylor. Now you have a team that's looking at being 25th in the nation, number ranked players on the team and in the state. I said, in 15-0, has this team peaked already? She is not concerned about that whatsoever with the leadership she has out there. She's expecting this team to make a run.
And we are expecting a heck of a contest here at Franklin High School, Somerset, New Jersey. Tonight's opening tip sponsored by the Franklin Boosters. We want to thank those guys for broadcasting our game as well on the HSG Network. When you can't find the money for it, they can. So we are about to get set, and that is, of course, Diamond Miller, who is number 18 ranked in the country as far as high school athletes are concerned. Unbelievable. And the tip will be won by your Franklin Warriors as we get things started. Here we go. Miller, obviously the general. We can speak more about Miller as this time goes on. There's so much to say about Diamond Miller, but this entire offense. And now, just as you said it before, got to limit the turnovers.
Absolutely. Uncharacteristic for one of the Skank sisters there. That was number 11, Kennedy Skank, with the turnover. Definitely something that Coach Taylor prides her team on, is not having the turnover, but creating the turnover.
You know, you got to keep in mind it's a perfect season going on right now. They're 8 wins away from doing what is said to be impossible and finish 23-0 heading into all of the tournaments at the end of this month, going into February. And you got to wonder if that's going to play a role right now, because obviously the first possession, a little sloppy for the Warriors. And now off the glass, just off the mark. Offensive rebound rejected by Miller, and now looking up, Miller takes it. Miller in transition, two-step, off the glass, off the mark. Rebounded by Jackson, puts it in.
Jackson always doing the dirty work down low on both sides of the court. She got that rebound and put back. And here come the Warriors on defense.
Yeah, you got to keep your eyes on all of these Watchung Hill Warrior girls equally. And that's off. Good defense by Majette there. But equally, I mean, they have a couple juggernauts of their own. Mahogany Jenkins leads the team not only in scoring but rebounds as well. So you got to keep your eye out for her going forward. 6:43 to go here in the first. 2-0 in favor of your Lady Warriors. And now a turnover coming to back the Warrior way.
And this is one of the things that Coach Taylor did say when they do make the turnover, even if it's not necessarily fast break transition, they have to capitalize. They can't just go down and turn it back over to the other team. They want to get a good fast start and capitalize on every turnover.
Off the mark.
Kennedy Skank following her shot.
Oh, it's good. For three, Kennedy Skank. Splash Sisters in full effect right away.
Absolutely. That was Kennedy to Keona. KK for the K.
And now just out of bounds, another turnover. It's going back to Franklin. So just when we thought that the pressure would build up on Franklin, they've built a 5-0 lead. Couple turnovers here by Watchung Hills. They have to limit those if they want to stay in this game.
Absolutely. Coach Reese of Watchung Hills said they have to play a perfect game. They can't start with turnovers, and they have to control this Franklin Warrior team. Here you go.
Telegraph pass. Open look and a rejection by Miller.
Oh, my goodness. Someone needs to apologize to Mr. Spalding. You're not supposed to slap him that way.
And that was Scarlett Glasser-Nels on a fast break who thought, I got green pastures in front of me, until there was Diamond Miller.
Well, LeBron isn't the only one that does the chase down block.
5:51 to go here in the first. To their credit, another rejection by Jackson. And another turnover by the Watchung Hill girls.
This is definitely not the opening that the Watchung
Deep
Hill.
three by Miller. Off the mark. Rebounded at first. And it will stay with Franklin. Favorable call there underneath the basket. The inbound by Jackson. Jackson looking up top. Skank has a lane by herself. Now Miller. Jackson. Inside, turnover again. That's two on Jackson by herself. So she's got to clean those up going forward.
Absolutely. Not something you would typically see, but once again, they are at least capitalizing on the other end when they do make turnovers.
Now an offensive rebound, trying to put back two missed attempts, and that was McKenna Frey to no avail, and now puts it off the glass, and just like that, the freshman builds a 7-0 lead here for the Franklin Warriors early.
And Christina Majette, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, has been named one of the freshman top.
Yeah, according to NewJersey.com, NJ.com has ranked her a top 10 freshman in the state. Another miss. That's two missed shots. The field goal percentage very low to start it off. Miller's going to take this coast to coast and get fouled before she was going up, I believe. We're going to have to follow up with that one.
It is quickly becoming Miller time, but I'm a huge Christina Majette fan. You've known that from the start of the season. I loved her energy that she brought, and she loves what she's doing out there for this team. Got a chance to speak to her before the game, and she feels she's going to be – her defense is going to be a critical piece to this game.
And Miller fouled on the way up this time. She'll go to the charity stripe for two. That was Mahogany Jenkins. Don't want to get her in foul trouble. She is the leading scorer for the Watchung Hills Warriors. Miller puts in the first.
Here.
We were talking about Diamond Miller before. A full ride to Maryland University going forward. So you know, I mean, I know the pressure's building, but you got to expect more eyes to be on your product going forward for the rest of this season. There's a lot more photography in the stands, a couple guys with notebooks in the crowd. You know, there's a lot of eyes on Diamond Miller right now. So let's see if that, plays a part in her game.
Absolutely, and not only eyes on her, eyes on the team, because every win, as this season goes on, undefeated season goes on, more people are going to look at you. And Coach Taylor has said to her team, the target is only going to get larger and larger on your back.
And now Jackson from Miller finishes it off, and it's 11-0 just like that. 4:05 to go here in the first.
Slapping it up all the way back. This is the last year they're going to get to play together, and you can see they're enjoying every moment they have together. That is just chemistry in motion.
You do not want to fall too far behind. These Warriors can strike and strike a lot. And now a deep three. Long shot off the mark. Rebounded by Miller. Takes it away. That's muscle.
Ooh. I hate to say it, but you're just not going to win that battle.
Miller, coast to coast. Unbelievable. There's just no competition for Diamond Miller. There really isn't.
I did ask Coach Reed. We got a turnover.
Another turnover, and they'll take it themselves. Off the mark. Jackson with the rebound. Put back. It's good. And just like that, 15-0. Coach Reese takes a timeout, and we're going to go to break. But the Franklin Warriors off to a very hot start, 15-0.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruitafacts, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, they also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls, where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you.
We started it, and we are back here at Franklin High School as this lead has jumped off the grid right off the bat. Scott, 15-0 in favor of the Franklin Lady Warriors, and this is a team in particular you just don't want to fall that far behind.
Hey, any lead you give them could turn into a mile in a minute. The Diamond Miller and her team will run away with it and not even bother looking in the rearview mirror to see how far back you are. They will keep their foot to the pedal to the end of this game. Coach Reese said, once again, they have to play perfect. And in speaking with Jaden Baltuck, she said that they were going to be doing a lot of perimeter shooting because of the height disadvantage. I don't necessarily think that may be the best idea. They're going to have to drive and possibly try and get some fouls on these Lady Warriors. I don't think they can live and die by the three.
They got to live and die by something. They got to put some attempts up, and when they do, they are not cashing in. So down 15 here, another turnover, a picked-off pass, primetime style, and that one will be knocked out of bounds. Franklin will stay with the possession here. 2:53 to go from Franklin High School. Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell. Howard Gaber, our producer of the HSG Network, behind all the controls, and it's off the mark.
Shot by Keona Skank. Not many miss for the Skank sisters.
And now look at that. Wow. Look at the effort into the score table. Oh, my goodness.
We heard that crash up here.
And she's up and right back on offense. Another three. Up and no good off the mark. Look at this. Another turnover. Jackson on the offensive rebound. Puts it off the glass. 17-0 Lady Warriors.
How many Warriors are on the floor? I mean, I feel like there are at least
They're
7 or 8.
They're everywhere, Scott.
They're going up for the rebound. They're diving for the ball. They're just out hustling Watchung at every turn.
They are showing no mercy is what they're doing right now. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Watchung Hills going long style.
That's not going to work for them. I hate to say it, but it's not. I know they wanted to, but it's just not.
Diamond Miller from a different area code. Got it!
Because that's Diamond Miller's game all day, locked up in her back pocket with her name on it.
Unbelievable distance on that three-point play, and now it's 20-0. They're down by 3 touchdowns here early.
Turnover.
Another one. Diamond Miller behind the back dribbling. Kicks it out to Skank for 3. Off the top of the backboard, rebounded by Miller. Who else? Puts it up left-handed off the glass. It's good. 22-0.
Why not? I think she just broke the 400 mark in scoring for the season.
Unbelievable turn of events.
No, she didn't, but she's getting close. Coming into this game, she had 344 points for the season so far, Dave.
So 344 for her. So she would need, 56 points tonight.
Which is not impossible.
Looking up at the scoreboard, you never know, folks. But 22-0. Watchung Hills will inbound from underneath, looking for something. How about a 3 from the corner? Off the mark. Rebounded. Offensive rebound is good. Rejected by Miller again.
That's at least her second, if not third, block of the game
She's
in
gonna
the
have
first quarter.
She's going to have a quadruple-double before the first half is over.
Dave,
Unbelievable.
there's a minute and 1 second to go, and Watchung Hills has not scored yet.
This defense, credit to Audrey Taylor, I'm telling you right now, has this defense playing all time right now. Might be their best quarter of the season.
I have never been to a game where the opposing team has not scored in the first quarter.
You know, in Madden football on PS4, if you go down by 21, you got to start the game over. And Watchung Hills does not have that option right now.
No, they do not. There is no mercy rule here.
Unbelievable turn of events, like we were just saying, to start this off. And the Franklin Warrior cheerleaders still in it. Now a kick out for, had the 3 attempt, go underneath. Look for the give and go, no go. And now it's Miller up top. On Jackson herself, I'm telling you right now, besides Miller, Jackson's having herself a phenomenal first quarter as well.
Absolutely. One of the unsung heroes of this team, also a senior. You know her by her throw in the sock game, but trust me, Coach Taylor has called her the heart and soul of the team. Does a lot of the dirty work, getting those breaks started. May not come up on the stats.
Off the mark again. Jackson with the rebound. A touchdown pass to Miller. And now they're going to call a travel on Diamond Miller. Audrey Taylor with a little bit of a smirk saying, yeah, all right, you got us.
I think that was the only way that she was going to be stopped there.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. I thought she was going to try and dunk that one for a second.
We've seen crazier things here at Franklin. So now the inbound pass, 10 seconds to go. Lead pass, no avail, nobody there.
5 seconds.
Now underneath, 5 seconds, 4, 3. Can they get a shot off? And it's going to be a foul there with 1.9 on the clock. Foul on Skank, yeah. So now it's a catch and release. Can they get some points, or will they leave the first quarter with a goose egg? We'll find out. Inbound pass, it's up, didn't catch anything, Scott. Didn't catch anything.
I've never, ever seen this before. And our Warriors, Dave, they've really played this season some monumental games. Yes. Hey, everybody.
The HSG network is we got like 5 or 6 camera angles going on right now, but an unbelievable first quarter for the Franklin Warrior girls.
Absolutely. They came out playing the Warrior way they have all season long without regard for Watchung whatsoever. Watchung said they had to play a perfect game. They did anything but in the first quarter. Well, they had a few turnovers, the Our Lady Warriors did, but they definitely collected on the opposite end when they created the turnovers, which is exactly what Coach Taylor was looking for. Second quarter, hey, the Watchung has to find the cup in some way, somehow.
If you're Coach Reese, what do you tell the Watchung Hill Warrior girls on the sidelines right now? I mean, you're looking up at the scoreboard and you're saying, can we hit the bus? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you say as a coach? You told me in the pregame you started a little bit of a coaching venture over this course of this last week. If your team's down 24-0 after the first, what are you saying to your girls?
I have to remind them there are 3 quarters left. Don't look at the score, look at the time. You got to get in there, play with effort, and play with expediency. Play with, there's only but so much time left. We have to get points on the board now, ladies.
So we start the second period, 24-0 in favor of the Franklin Lady Warriors. Deep 3, Miller time. It's up and off the mark. Rebounded. Has a chance to kick it to Miller. She doesn't. And off the mark, as we have a couple substitutions for your Franklin Warriors. And, of course, we like to refer to her as the Big O.
Big O.
Anaceta Afua has checked into the game. Scrappy defender.
Along with her sister, Louise Afua, number 2. They are definite disruptors to the game.
And there you go. On cue, Scott.
I love watching the two of them play. They're disruptors. They come in and just make a mess of the other team's plans offensively.
24-0. Almost said 24-9. Now it looks like Kennedy Skank will check back in.
So
Afua gets a rest.
We've gone from one set of siblings to another set of siblings on the floor.
And now Miller with another rejection. That's got to be 3 already in the first half. Unbelievable. Diamond Miller.
I give them credit for driving and trying to get that shot up, but they are not going up quick and crisp enough. They're giving Miller and company a chance to block it, and a turnover right there, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, again, uncharacteristic of this game thus far. But we saw it in the first couple seconds of this game. You know, Franklin turned the ball over. We all kind of like held our breath and was like, I don't know about this. And then all of a sudden, 24 points later.
At the end of the day, the Franklin Warriors still are executing in the areas that they need to clean. They may make a mistake, but they're cleaning it up and shining everything else up along the way. Still waiting for Watchung to get on the board.
It has been 16 minutes of play. I'm sorry, 9 minutes of play before anything. 16 would be halftime. Hopefully they get a couple buckets before then. Jackson, another offensive rebound, kicking this one out to Miller. Driving to the lane, and there will be a blocking foul. Miller will go back to the line.
Taking it up against two Watchung Warriors right to their chest without regard.
There could be a legitimate like cement wall, and Miller will still try to take it to the rack. So.
Absolutely.
She's unbelievable.
All of these Lady Warriors, once again, going back to Kennedy Skank, diving out of bounds, going headlong into the scorer's table, getting right back up and getting down there to be in a position to score.
Now an offensive rebound, foul, and this time, Keona Skank will go to the line. 6:45 to go, 25-0 in favor of your Franklin Lady Warriors. That is not a typo. That is not a glitch in the HSG network. It is literally 25.
The scoreboard isn't burnt out on the visitor's side.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. And now checking in, I believe Majette checking back in.
And Jackson is running to the locker room. Not sure what's going on there, Dave.
We'll keep an eye on that as Jackson checks out and bolts to the locker room, as you just said. We saw it on our screen. And now up. You got to look for those. Turnover, 26-0. Franklin will get the ball back.
Now this is where Watchung, you're playing the game, or is the game playing you? Are you going in there and just starting to surrender to how bad this game is becoming? Or are you still going to go in there and try and claw your way back into it?
I mean, the way I see the defense right now at Watchung Hills, they're still in the face of every person that gets a ball except for that one. That's a three, and that's off the mark. Unbelievable effort by Skank for the rebound.
My God, I stretched a hammy with the way she jumped for that one.
No look pass underneath. Kicked it back out. Skank for three. Got it.
She shot that from the parking lot, Dave.
29-0. This one's getting out of hand, folks. If it hasn't already. Underneath, had a wide open Warrior underneath. Miller might dunk this. Just kidding, off the glass. 31-0. We're going to go to break. This is getting ugly here in Franklin. We're back here at Franklin High School, and while we have the time, we want to thank our official sponsors of the game. All the gear you saw me and Scott wearing when we had our 5 seconds of fame on camera is sponsored by Jersey Customs. When you watch the best, dress like the best. The official clothing sponsor for the HSG Network. You can reach them 856-701-3632 or at Jersey Customs 856. Stop and Shop, an easy decision as one of your stop and shop for all of your needs. And, of course, our friends at Health and Fitness Professionals never forfeit good health. So for a free consultation, 908-312-9340. Subway sandwiches located on Elizabeth Ave. I skipped dinner tonight, so now I'm even hungry after saying that.
Hey,
and, of course, join us next week as our next broadcast, the Franklin Boys, will be taking on Hillsborough next Tuesday night, here on the HSG Network. Scott, full timeout. That's 2 of them they've used so far and have come up with nothing.
Watchung Lady Warriors have to find some way to get on this board and start getting some momentum in their team. They need to see something to validate their efforts on the floor. Yeah.
Deep 3. Got it, and there we go.
That could open up the floodgates for them finally.
31-3 now, a 28-point lead, and just off the mark. Rebounded by Watchung. Ooh, put on the brakes real quick. Find a pass underneath. Rejected by Miller. That's 4.
Pass outlet to Skank.
Underneath the Skank. A sister connection. She just knew she was there. 33-3.
Skank to Skank. They've been doing that since the womb.
4:45 to go here in the second quarter. Franklin with a commanding 30-point lead. Looking for 16-0 here on the HSG Network. We want to thank you guys for checking on in. If you are watching this, be sure to hit the share button. Share it with your friends, family. Share it with the NBA at this point. Look at this. Just off the mark there, but a smooth transition from hand to hand does Diamond Miller.
Absolutely.
For 3, wide open look. Got it! 33-6.
They're starting to see some shots fall. Confidence is starting to come back up in the Watchung Lady Warriors. We still could have a game before this is all over.
Not if Majette has anything to talk about, but no, it's off the mark. Majette was going for the death blow here.
Jackson is looking to check back in. Whatever she ran off for, it looks like she's okay.
And a foul will be called on Miller. Jackson will check back in for one of the Lady Warriors. We're going to find out who.
Yep, Diamond Miller.
Diamond Miller getting her much-deserved rest. 4 blocks. We'll check the points soon enough, possibly at halftime. But she's having herself another career day. I don't know the last time we called a game where she had 4 blocks, but we'll check on that as well.
I don't think ever.
Long pass. Underneath, off the hand. I believe that's going to Franklin. It will. And with 3:40 to go, Franklin takes over once again, Scott.
Even though Watchung has drilled 2 threes, they still need to keep going to the basket, especially now with Miller out, and trying to get some fouls on these Lady Warriors so they can get some points on the board, get some openings down there in the driving lanes.
They're still playing feisty defense, are these Watchung Hills girls, right in the face of Skank there. Good effort, and that effort was Scarlett Glasser-Nels.
Feisty.
She's feisty and she's fouled. So.
Feisty can't be out of control, though. You're controlling, and that's one of the things that Coach Reese said. You want to control the Lady Warriors, but you can't do that at the expense of fouling the Lady Warriors because they're just as deadly from the free throw line.
And now another call underneath the basket. Looks to be another foul underneath. I believe that's 6 total for the first half. Franklin looking to inbound from underneath. Deep pass. Jackson wide open for 3. Over to Skank. And now the double team effort pays off for about a second and a half. Majette.
Johnny on the spot.
Got it.
Majette being the one who saw her teammate in trouble getting open, and that's a key thing for a lot of young players out there to learn. Learning how to move without the basketball to help your team, that was a key thing in that play right there.
Second foul on Skank. She'll probably check out. That's considered foul trouble here at the high school level. She'll take a breather.
Luisa Afua coming in, number 2 for Skank.
Great defender. We've been calling her all year long. And now a deep 3. Got it! Starting to rain here.
Absolutely.
For Watchung Hills, 36-9.
I do believe they are a perimeter team, but they can't live on it. They have to get that driving game open. If they try and get back into this game just from the three-pointer, it's not going to work, in my opinion, Dave.
Your opinion is valid indeed as they look for the inbound. 3-point ball up. 3-point ball good.
Afua, big O. She's not just a defender. She can put points up in bunches.
Underneath, she had a wide open look, and she passes it again. What? I'm not sure what she was looking at there.
You know, when you're dealing with, oh my God.
Jackson with authority.
Okay, we're going to have to put out a search party for some ankles on that one.
And or defense as a whole. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 41-9. And now left-handed off the mark. Offensive rebound to no, I don't think so. It's going to be taken by Majette, I believe. And now a timeout on the ground. Very, very, very smart as we'll go to break. 41-9, 1:49 to go here in the first half. Back here on the HSG Network, Dave Sturchill alongside Scott Harrell, Howard Gaber on the controls. We want to thank you guys for joining us on the HSG Network. Brand new home on Facebook, which has been growing by the day. Good effort there, and that's going to be Watchung Hill ball. That's a heads-up play.
Jaden Baltuck with that play, still looking to get her team back into this game. They're definitely putting forth the effort. They just have to capitalize it on the scoreboard.
1:34 to go, ticking away here. 41-9 lead. That ball's kicked around. Finds wide open underneath. Another, and now an open look at the top of the key. Stops, pops, drops. It's off the mark.
I'm not sure how that wasn't initially called a kick ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But we digress on that one. The Franklin Lady Warriors are hovering around the three-point line. Can't pass to yourself, so Majette will come out and get it. Skank with a underneath move. Very, very slick. And I believe she was fouled before the shot, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, she was fouled on the way up. She'll go to shoot two.
The balls are just bouncing the Lady Warriors' way.
Franklin Lady Warriors.
Franklin Lady
we
Warriors.
gotta be careful.
Exactly. It's Warrior v. Warrior tonight. However, Coach Reese said, he was going to need some of the balls to bounce the way of Watchung, and right now they're not. But everything seems to even itself out in the game. So the team needs to keep putting their effort in, because come the second half, that could be their time when some of the balls start bouncing their way, and they could. And you never know, the lid may go on top of the rim for the Franklin Lady Warriors. They can't give up right now. It's not time for that yet.
McKenna Frey checks out. From our vantage point, I'm not sure if her finger was supposed to be bent that way, so she's going to get checked out by the trainers checking out of that game. Could be a broken nail, not sure, but looked pretty gruesome from here. 48 seconds to go. Driving the baseline, looking for somebody. Nobody there except for Jackson. Jackson will slow it on down with 38 seconds to go.
Jackson with the fro and the sock game in on every play.
Coming up at halftime, HSG Network, you want to talk about some pro ball? We're going to get LeBron James mic'd up, Scott.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you know what? I mean, Howard said he was spending some big money. Now we know on what.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not getting paid, so.
Yeah, but you're not.
Not getting paid enough. Not
okay.
getting paid enough.
Yeah, well.
26 seconds to go here, 43-9 in favor.
We may want to have a conversation with our, agents collectively.
I mean, I didn't even get makeup today, but I digress. Another picked off pass, coast to coast, off the rim, but Jackson follows it up off the glass herself. An unbelievable first half for Tiana Jackson. Sock game strong, and now the stat sheet is even stronger.
No reason to say.
1 second left,
Ms.
puts it
Jackson.
up. She got fouled on the way up.
I think she was fouled by Jackson.
She's going to have an untimed.
Yep.
Yeah, she will go to the line as we're going to go to halftime here. We're going to stay with you guys as soon as these shots are over, a little halftime analysis, and then we'll go to break.
Maybe Watchung can get into double digits before halftime.
I mean, you would hope. And they do just that, 45-10. As she sinks that one, the lead is now 35. She'll try to end this half on a positive note. She does,
Excellent.
and halftime has come to us. So the score, 45-11 in favor of the Franklin Warrior girls. Scott, your thought on the first half?
Obviously, the Franklin Warriors, the Franklin Lady Warriors, are doing exactly what they intended to do from the time of tip-off till now, and just come out and dominate every aspect of the game, from transition offense and defense. The Watchung Lady Warriors, well, they said they had to have a perfect game, and it hasn't been perfect as of yet. They've shot some three-pointers. They've started to drive more, and I think they personally need to keep that up. See if they can get some fouls down below and maybe open up some more of the driving lanes. Maybe you can get back into the game. But otherwise, if this keeps up the way it is, I don't know if the Watchung Lady Warriors are going to break 20.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it looks like Coach Audrey Taylor is not taking her foot off the gas at all. So,
not at all.
I mean, the first quarter in itself was just disastrous for Watchung Hills. But, you know, again, they scored some points in the second quarter. Build a little bit of self-esteem here going into the second half. Let's see which kind of adjustments they're going to use. And to be honest with you, I mean, if you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective, if you're just checking in on the HSG network, you know, we'll see what happens in the second half. But your score at halftime, 45-11 in favor of your Franklin Lady Warriors.
Try to get the ball out of his hands. You can't do it because there's nothing you can do no matter where he gets the ball. Like Tim Legler just adroitly pointed out, he does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, to whom he damn well pleases. And when you take into account that it's the Boston Celtics that we're talking about, they're simply overmatched because they have no shot blockers. That means he can go to the hole anytime he wants to. He's got shooters around him. And
LeBron checking the clock as he has Ibaka in front of him, shoots from three. They are on fire.
Tentative attempts. He's rattled out. And LeBron right back to the same spot.
For three again.
I think I found LeBron James' new free throw routine right here. Spin the ball a couple times and slash down your free throw.
Love jumps out. Successful switching continues, and it leads to another Toronto turnover. James whipping by despite the foul. Would have gotten the call and won. What an effort by LeBron James. And here's it. Continues to hit the free throw, 6 for 7. Oh, LeBron tempted to take a sip.
You got to stay hydrated. Maybe not the proper hydration during the game.
No.
31 times in his career. He will fall 1 rebound or assist shy of a triple-double tonight. Standing O for the guys in orange, especially for the kid from Akron. A winding-O winner. Hardwood classic style. 116-105 when the King.
In a different way to score, coming off baseline swing.
Oh, he does it again. Throws it right up at the rim. James comes flying in from the right corner. And another dunk. It was a dunk-a-thon Friday night. They're starting it again here this afternoon.
Used to. Unsuccessfully, I might add. Well, Kyrie Irving just missed. Here goes James, and nope.
Well, again, this is what the game has come to.
this water bottle thing drives me nuts. My kids do it all the time. It's not that hard to do.
The game began. This is a loose-knit group. They know how to have fun. Danny Green on the right, the rookie out of North Carolina, one of the lead dancers on this team. And it looks like he has taught LeBron a move or two tonight. Other than the altercation with Noah, LeBron's had himself one heck of a good time.
Butler double. Great defense from LeBron James. Ball ricochets into the crowd. They're 23 of 33 from the field. Come on, give me the ball. We got to play. You know things are going well when you can relax and have a little fun during the game. See, that's great. Fans pay a lot of money to come to these games to make them happy. How much he's going to tell every person he knows.
How about one of the great moments in the Heat's house tonight? That man in the yellow sweatshirt. Oh, the hug from LeBron James. What did he do to get a hug like that from LeBron just a moment ago? We'll show you. He just won $75,000 with a half-court hooker.
Look at this shot. Oh, my. He probably enjoyed the hug by LeBron more than the money.
The longest sky hook in American Airlines Arena history, and maybe the greatest hug takedown.
Oh, man.
LeBron, he has a good time with the fans. He really does. He was talking to those guys earlier. That little kid there is going to remember that the rest of his life.
All right. LeBron going downhill, and they say it's off him. And that fan's night has been made. She just wishes she had a camera phone ready for a selfie.
And LeBron doing a selfie. You got to love it. First NBA selfie of the new season. Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Saved by James. And a foul on Hamilton. Well, LeBron is over there, and some gals lap. Boy, you talk about NBA cares right there. Yeah, the NBA does care. Watch this. There he goes. LeBron, look at that. Huh? That lady's going to remember that for the rest of her life.
A finals record now for most threes by a team. Curry had a notion there to Barnes. Green and James jawing at each other while play continues. Iguodala the pull-up. That won't go. And a double foul is going to be called. Channing Frye getting in between. LeBron James incensed. Green starting to walk away. James has more words.
He's controlling himself a little bit.
I'd say so. Dropping 15 pounds.
All right, here is the final 6 of the year. Broke his leg in the training camp of the U.S. national team. Here's Steph Curry with that quick release. Some say it's
12th. So Cleveland up 68-66. Then it's LeBron getting the steal and finishing off in style. 82-73 your count. LeBron with 29 on the game.
Kruger fell asleep. He fell asleep. You could see LeBron. He was licking his chops. You know, he was just waiting.
From behind takes it away. Chalmers. Pull. James! Whoa! And a technical foul called on Miami for the taunt.
Just watch as they lay it up there. Watch this. Woo.
Green guarding clock at 4. James steps into a jumper and rattles it in. LeBron James gives Miami a 2-point lead with 10.5 to go.
And even there, he was right up. You could not challenge better than this. Look at that. Right up on that shot.
We saw James with his histrionics and his reaction. And that riled up the Bucks.
Since the first quarter, they had 27 points in the opening frame. Here's a steal by LeBron. Here comes a show. James with the throwdown.
And then the steal. You get on the break. This gets this team going. He's not even looking at the. I think he was looking at Michael Jordan.
I was thinking the same thing.
Michael Jordan's a little left of that Charlotte bench. I think that was a look at Michael like, turn out the lights, my friend. We want to get this thing over with in 4. We want to rest up and wait for Toronto or Brooklyn.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly
he was
what
looking
he was
right
looking
at him. There's no question.
That's the 5th foul. Look at
right
it.
That is unbelievable. He looks at the last minute up at the rim. That's not even fair. Michael's.
Welcome back inside William Westfield Gymnasium here at Franklin High School. Just wrapping up our little halftime show. Hope you enjoyed LeBron and all his flopping. I'm kidding, LeBron. All props to you. You're probably one of the best in the world. But what we have here tonight at Franklin is a 45-11 lead going into the third quarter. Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell, and, of course, keeping the lights on the HSG network is indeed Howard Gaber. He started this little stream, and it just blew up from there. So thank you guys for checking on in, and, of course, shout out to Mama Harrell, right?
Fran Brantley
Fran
out
Brantley.
there, #1 viewer for the live stream.
We got to get her a hat or something.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
here we go. Here we go to start off. And look at that. Just like that. 2 shots, 2 misses.
That's still the way that I think they need to start trying to get back into this game, though that's not going to work on that end.
Gianna Skank follows it up 47-11 to start us off with the scoring. So thank you once again for joining us on the HSG network here on a Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm sure everybody's happy about that. I know I am.
Thank God it will be Friday.
So now Watchung Hill's trying to scratch and claw their way back into this one. They had a couple nice shots, and just like that, a nice little floater, 47-13.
That was number 5, Scarlett Glasser-Nels, finally getting some things to drop in the lane. That's where they really need the game to start opening up.
Diamond Miller from another country.
The game is open for Diamond anywhere in the world.
She's something special, and it's a rejection there underneath, and checking into the game is Kiera Dempsey-Tony. My goodness.
KDT with the rejection.
Another flush buckets, and that was Morgan Jones, and we have the reserves in early, 52-13. These girls trying to show that they earn their spot next year.
Hey, they're not playing like reserves right now. They're trying to come out there and play like the starters they want to be.
52-13, 3-point shot off the mark, rebounded by Jackson, who's having herself a phenomenal game.
Excellent work, and that's that dirty work that she's always doing.
And just off the mark there on that pass, it'll stay Franklin's way. 6:16 to go here in the third period. 52-13 in favor of the Franklin Lady Warriors, trying to get to 16-0 on their way. Look at that pass underneath. She was in the air the whole time. Oh, my goodness. That's something you work on in practice all week long.
Oh, my
goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, jeez. Dempsey-Tony almost spiked that one into the ground. Oh, my.
This is when you know you're taking on a team that's just at another level.
Yes.
When you're taking on the #1 ranked team in the state, you are going to find out what it takes to be a #1 ranked team in the state, because that's exactly how they're going to play you from start to finish.
Bodies flying everywhere, and this possession will stay with Watchung Hills on this one.
Well, there's still a dent in the shape of a skank on the scorer's table over there.
An unbelievable effort by everybody. And now sister for sister.
Trade one skank for another.
Floater. Almost, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dempsey-Tony got a piece of that one.
She
and
was
now
looking for the whole thing.
On the break, nice pass underneath. Follows it up off the glass, 56-13. This one's out of control, Scott.
KDT with her first points of the game. Came in with a block. Why not a score?
Everybody's getting involved on the stat sheet here tonight, including some off the bench. Nice crossover move there. Picked off.
Here it comes.
Off the glass, it's a miss. Felt the pressure, and the pressure was Diamond Miller right behind her, following on the fast break.
Look, Diamond can get anybody nervous, even on their own team.
Diamond Miller, ill-advised pressure on that one to cause the missed layup. 56-13, 5:12 to go on the clock. Wide open 3-ball. Off the mark, rebounded. That was Morgan Jones getting some more statistics for today. Morgan Jones now kicks it out. Miller for 3. Off the mark. Rebounded underneath by Dempsey-Tony and a jump ball.
Dempsey, KDT is not going to give that ball up willingly. You are going to have to wrestle her for that.
Diamond Miller getting some more rest. 56-13. This game is, just a little too soft on the shot there, but gets her own rebound, and now the ball is loose. Taken. Watchung Hill's going to have to slow it down. Puts it up off the mark. Gets her own rebound. You talk about hustle. Deep three-pointer. It's off the mark. And just like that, Majette with the rebound. Jackson underneath.
I think
just off the mark.
I think she was.
The Warriors are missing a lot of shots here. I'm not going to lie. I mean, 56-13, yes, they had the comfortable lead, but you got to start cashing in.
Absolutely, but you're seeing the play of the reserve group starting to, creep in there. They haven't been on the court as much. Yes, they're expected to play at a high level just like the starters, but these young players here who are hungry for that starting position come out and want to show what they're capable of, and every once in a while do a little bit too much, or as, some young man in my
Oh, my goodness, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but another rejection. Kiera Dempsey-Tony spikes it into the earth.
Okay. I've tried to coin this now. I'm going to have to, go ahead and patent it. KDT.
Okay.
KDT. And that's exactly what she did to that ball.
So now, nice behind-the-back dribbling here. Watchung Hill's looking for something. That's nothing. It's nothing. And it will go back to the Franklin Warriors up 56-13. The lead, folks, you're listening correctly, the lead is 43 points. My goodness.
And that's after a scoreless first quarter.
Unbelievable.
Not
for nothing, but the fans on Facebook right now watching this at home. I saw a comment over the halftime break. 11 minutes to go till we keep them scoreless for a half. I said, there's no mercy coming from Franklin Warrior Nation here.
None whatsoever. And you know what? Hey, you learn from these instances. You really do. I'm not about the mercy rule, and I'm sure you're not either.
No, not at all. Stops her dribble and now passes it to the stomach of Majette. Jackson now kicks it out.
Got a skank running a post route, but no.
They are indeed putting in a lot of work here.
At least you still see Watchung putting out the effort. They're scrambling and scrapping on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. They're trying to scrape their way back into it. They're putting the effort out there, but they're definitely at this point, I hate to say it, but being outplayed and outmatched on both ends of the ball.
A missed shot underneath. 2:59 to go. Great camera work by the HSG network. We got 3 on staff tonight. Talk about interns. Interns galore.
Interns is the word to use because we will not be questioned about child labor.
Oh, my God. Afua, again, with the effort, winds up on her backside there. 58-13. The lead is 45. Nice kick-out pass. She puts one in, 58-15.
Glasser-Nels with the shot. Still trying to find something positive here, something they can build on. They had a win last night.
Skank off the mark.
If it had stayed up there any longer.
Well, we saw in pregame they put 7 balls in the basket, so they're pulling out all the stops here.
Their shooting percentage for that practice right there was 100%.
A touchdown pass for 3. Deep one. Off the mark. Rebounded. That's Kiera Dempsey-Tony again with a rebound. I like the combination of Majette and Dempsey-Tony underneath. I really do think that's
Twin
a
Towers right
yeah,
there.
I think that's a formula that could work for them going forward if need be.
Well, it definitely will need be because your 6'3", 6'4" is on her way to Maryland.
This is very true. And now a little bit of a slide step. Can't do that here in high school basketball or at any level.
Mm-hmm.
And now a complete overhaul.
Trying
substitution.
to find some combination that'll work. That's what you're looking at right now. Trying to find some combination that'll work.
There's a lot of defeat on the faces of the Watchung Hill Warrior girls, but they listen, give them credit. They're still here. They didn't get on the bus at halftime.
Absolutely. And they did come off of a win last night.
Right.
So this is a team that's playing with, the win may have been carrying them high, but also a little tired because the Lady Warriors, they didn't play last night.
And now a put back. It's 58-17 now, as you stated. A win last night for the Watchung Hill Warriors, and they are 8-7 on the season, but a loss here tonight will bring them back down to 500. And as we stated plenty of times, for 3, off the mark, we stated plenty of times that the Franklin Warrior girls are looking to go 16-0 with 7 more on the regular season schedule. So a lot of eyes on the product that Audrey Taylor has put together.
And the question then becomes, who really can beat the Franklin Lady Warriors? And you start to ask,
could it just be themselves? That's what Audrey Taylor, I feel, has been working hard against this entire season, ensuring her team is always in a position where they're not going to beat themselves. They're capable of beating the other team, but they don't want to lose because they went out there and played outside of their game.
Yeah, taking a look at the schedule coming up. Obviously tonight, Watchung Hills is on the docket for that. But now a 4-game road trip coming up for the Franklin Lady Warriors, so you got to be careful. Warren Hills, nobody to mess with. Hillsboro, who we've obviously came across a couple times, they're going at Phillipsburg. That's my wife's alumni, imagine that. And they're going to also be taking on Trenton Catholic on the road before they come home, finish up with Bishop R. Ridge and Long Island Lutheran. So, listen, there's no cakewalks here. And as we go forward, all eyes are on the undefeated record. So, obviously, that's what they want to do. That's what they're set out to accomplish. But these state tournaments and the champions tournaments that are coming up at the end of the season, you want to make sure not only, yes, do you have momentum, but everybody's healthy. Everybody's still playing motivated, and especially for Miller. A girl like Miller who's headed on out, her high school basketball career will be over in just 7 games regular season-wise. But a girl like that, she wants to go out with a title.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you're looking at a team that's ranked 25th in the nation. Players that are ranked 18th. Players that are multiple starters that are ranked from multiple grades that are ranked. And now what's going to happen? Well, as Coach Taylor has said, the target only gets larger and larger on your back. And no matter what the stats and what the media says, those numbers aren't going to play for you. You have to play yourself out there on the court every game.
18 seconds to go, and Watchung Hills is answering back. The lead is now, I would say cut to 40. It doesn't sound right coming out like that, saying down to 40.
No,
but
you're right.
They're flushing it. They had 11 points at halftime, and they
That's 21 more points than they had in the first quarter.
Unbelievable. I still at the buzzer. Are you kidding?
Wow.
Why not? Why not at this point? And at 3 quarters time, 63-21. Scott, your thoughts on the third quarter as we, you look up and down the stat sheet and everybody's waving. Dalen's here. He's a star running back for our team as well, for the Franklin Warriors. You got Ken Margolin right behind us. We're on camera now, Ken, so smile to the people at home. Yep, there he is. Lexi, there you go. So, again, our athletic director, Ken Margolin, is here as well. It's a packed house here. We want to thank you guys for joining us on the HSG network here. If you're watching this video at home, be sure to share it. We want all eyes on the potentially 16-0 Franklin Lady Warriors. Your thoughts going into the fourth, Scott?
Once again, the Franklin Lady Warriors, yes, they came out with some of their reserves, but their reserves look to play like starters at all times. Did they come off a little bit? Yes, but they still came back in, picked it up, and played at a high level. Watchung, they didn't give up. They came out there and started putting some numbers up. But for the fourth quarter, they're going to have to go all out to try and change that score in any capacity to really talk about what positive takeaways they can have from this game, because there are going to be a lot of things the coach is going to have to talk about as far as where this game went off the rails.
Yeah, you said it in the pregame that they were going to need, Watchung Hills that is, they were going to need to play the perfect game to even go punch for punch with the Franklin Lady Warriors, and it just didn't happen. Unfortunately for them, they're still trying to get some offense going here for some style points for themselves, maybe build a little confidence going forward, because obviously they got a schedule to play too.
Absolutely.
They're going to be 8-7. They're 8-8 after this one, as they'll lose this one to Franklin, but then they got Watchung Hills. Gil St. Bernard's, Rutgers Prep. There's a couple games on their schedule where they can make some noise heading towards the back end of the season. So things aren't done yet for these Watchung Hill Lady Warriors.
By no means. And one of the things a game like this will do for the Watchung Lady Warriors, when you're playing a team like this of this caliber, you learn what it takes to really become a ranked team, to become the team that everybody has to look out for. So this is an excellent opportunity for them to, come into an atmosphere and learn from this loss. Is it going to sting? Is it going to hurt? Absolutely. But you know what? You know what effort you now have to put in to come in and shut somebody out for a first quarter.
Morgan Jones puts one away there. 65-22, 7:16 to go in this absolute blowout win.
Luisa Afua.
Look at that. Had the nice move. Didn't have the nice look as far as the shot was concerned. 7:04 to go. And now
there she goes again.
She might dunk it. Maybe not. Off the mark. She's fouled on the way up. That's what caused the ill-advised shot.
Well,
did you expect the dunk? You expected the dunk.
I
Right?
was looking for her to do it from the free throw line. I'm a big Jordan fan.
That would be an accomplishment.
Hey, you know who I'm waiting to see, and I think we're going to see before the end of this game? Wins.
Yes. Last week, Jaleese Wins was called up from JV, and she made her presence felt right away. And it's exciting. I mean, these girls are earning their keep, and like you said, we discussed in the pregame that when a team is 15-0, trying to get to 16-0, it's almost like, is this the right time to bring up new stars? But they got a lot of basketball to play, so you got to figure out what you have as far as depth.
Well, not only that, but in speaking with Coach Taylor, I asked her specifically about Wynn's debut, and she said Wynn's earned her spot on that team with her effort and deserves to come out there and play on the court when she does. I said, this late in the season and you're still undefeated. She said, no. Our job as coaches is to give the opportunity to the players who put forth the effort. So she enjoys having wins on the team.
Good defense by Jackson there to force a bad shot attempt. Jackson now back on the offensive side. Underneath. Nice pass. Can't finish. Rebounded by Watchung Hills as they'll take it the other way. 6:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dave Sturcio alongside Scott Harrell, your two voices of the HSG network. We're going to be busy this spring and summer, Scott.
Oh, yes, we are.
A lot of, in conjunction with the Major League Football League, the NEAFL, you got the Triborough Football League. There's a lot of Howie's putting in the groundwork to plant the seeds. And if you have a sports organization, need a commercial, need some ad space, we're the guys to call. Be sure to check those out. And while I have time, I want to give another shout-out to all the sponsors here tonight. Jersey Customs, that's the black shirts that you saw us when we had our time on camera. That's sponsored by Jersey Customs. When you watch the best, dress like the best. The official clothing sponsor for the HSG network. 856-701-3632. Yeah, smoking jackets are on order. Also, Stop and Shop, an easy decision as your one-stop shop for all your needs. My good friends over at Health and Fitness Professionals never forfeit good health. So for a free consultation, call Sean Basinger, 908-312-9340. And I was telling my broadcast partner from the wrestling match, I tore my ACL in 2014. They told me I was going to be out of the ring for 13 months. I was back in 10 because of Health and Fitness Professionals. So they repaired me, got me back in there. Subway Sandwiches, located on Elizabeth Ave. And, of course, the next time we're on the air is next Tuesday night for the boys basketball team playing Hillsborough, February 5th, 2019. It's 2 days after the Super Bowl.
And 2 days before my beloved wife's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday
Gail
to the
Harris.
most patient person on the planet.
You know what?
I'm just kidding. That's my wife.
I thought it was us when we deal with Howard.
She's got to, yeah. My wife's got to deal with me every day. So, more credit to her. Shout out to her. I know she's checking on in to the broadcast.
Hey, Miss Sturcio, don't worry. He hasn't broken out the spandex or the sequins yet.
Those days are over. A missed opportunity there.
For the record, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't deny those days.
I did not. I used to put on the spandex. Yeah, jump off the top rope a couple times,
Yeah, I also mentioned sequins, but we'll keep going.
You forgot the pyro. So 5 minutes to go here in Franklin. 66-22 in favor of the Lady Warriors of Franklin. Three-point ball. Off the mark. Rebounded. Good effort there by Watchung. Tries to put it back. No good. Do you think we've seen the last of Diamond Miller?
I believe so. Because at this point, you're preserving health. Everybody else is out there doing their job. You have your floor lieutenant general out there in Jackson. They're going to do what they need to do.
And now a loose ball foul will be given back to the Watchung Hills Warriors as I believe Kennedy Skank checks back in for Tiana Jackson. She might go change her socks. You never know what you can see with the last 428. She's probably got a sponsor at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I won't mention any names, but someone needs to sign that young lady.
Speaking of Tiana Jackson, she's being looked at by Monmouth University, so shout out and congratulations if that's the route she chooses to go. after her high school basketball career.
I'll tell you what, they will be acquiring a treasure if they do bring her on board.
And what a personality. I know you sat down with her in post-game last time. Very humble girl. Very long three-point ball as we're still calling the shots here. 69-22, 3:56 to go here in Franklin.
I've spoken with Miss Jackson several times, and I can tell you that is one humble young lady. She puts team first. She loves playing the game of basketball for everyone else. She's not worried about her name in headlines and everything like that. She's worried about what she can do for her team, and you can see that in her play. She's the one who's really, doing all the dirty work behind the scenes, getting the fast break started, and cleaning up on the boards. That was a score by Watchung right there.
69-24, 3:20 to go, and just getting word from the HSG Network producer, Howard Gaber. We'll have Diamond Miller joining me after the game for some feedback of this game going forward, her 4 years here at Franklin, and, of course, looking forward to Maryland University as well. 3 minutes to go. Franklin is putting the nails in the proverbial coffin here, 71-24.
But once again, you still see the effort by Watchung. They're not quitting. They know the game is pretty much they're not coming back into it, but they're still trying to find ways for positive things that can happen.
So a floater shot off the mark. Still hustling for rebounds is Watchung Hills to try to show Coach that this game is not over and the season is not lost.
Exactly. And that's what you want to show the coach so he's not screaming too loudly in practice.
73-24, a timeout will be taken by Watchung Hills. We'll go to break. 2:21 left here to go in Franklin. We're back here to finish things off here in Franklin. 2:21 to go. Franklin Warriors over the Watchung Hills Warriors, 73-24. Watchung Hills trying to, I guess, seek some kind of redemption from the first meeting, but the first meeting was 82-38 in favor of the Franklin Warriors. So this is two absolute destroyed games by the Franklin Warriors, and obviously, no discredit to the Watchung Hills girls, still putting in the effort here with 2 minutes to go, and we wish them the best of luck going forward, Scott.
Absolutely. They're going to be at 500. They're in no way out of it for the season. They still have the potential for the postseason, but once again, when you're playing a team like this, you're playing a team that's operating on a different level, a different plane of existence. It is, mankind going up against Mount Olympus.
David and Goliath, and this is something that they were not expecting if you're a Franklin Lady Warrior follower. Last year they got off to the slow start, finished hot, and you were wondering when they came into the season, rejected again by Kiara Dempsey-Tony. Unbelievable. She just actually gave us a look, and she might have heard me call that one.
KDT.
She was probably like, okay, that's enough. 1:36 to go. But like I was saying, as we were coming into the season, you didn't know what to expect. You had Diamond Miller. She obviously was going to lead the charge. You had a couple returning starters from last year. So you just didn't know. You didn't know what the formula was going to be for this team, and would they get off to the slow start? Would they get off to a good start? And when they got off to that good start, we're like, okay, let's pump the brakes here because, last year, blah, blah, blah. The story has been written, and just like that, heading into February tomorrow, the Franklin Lady Warriors are going to be 16-0, ranked number 1 in New Jersey, and ranked number 25 in the USA Today in the country, Scott.
I think something is to be said about having a long memory because this is the same team, as you said, last year didn't get off to the best start, and many of those players are still on this team. They remembered what it felt like not coming out the gate stumbling and did not want to do that this year. Yes, there were a few additional acquisitions for this team this season, but the core is still here. And you know what? That core stood up and came out and wanted to play better than they did at the start, and it's just progressed, and they built on it game after game after game until I believe they surprised themselves in becoming the single most dominant team in the state.
50 seconds ago now, 46 and ticking away. 73-24. The lead is 49. Now just trying to wrap things up. Don't want to take too many more shots. You don't want to add insult to injury. Off the mark. Try to just dribble this one around for 28 seconds. Actually, she'll put up a shot. She'll drain it for a 51-point lead here at the end. These guys are playing all the way to the end, and I know that's definitely attributed to Audrey Taylor, the head coach of this Franklin Lady Warriors team. Got them ready to rock and roll heading into February, the backstretch of the season, the backstretch of your regular season schedule, and you know, it remains to be seen what the rest of this entails. There's going to be a 4-game road trip, like I said, and hopefully when they come on back here into Franklin, they'll still undefeated.
They'll be 20-0, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, our rooting interest would be into a perfect season, so that's something that we don't want to necessarily talk about too much. You know, you don't talk about a no-hitter in the 8th. You don't talk about these things, but it's a very, very realistic possibility, Scott, that these girls can make history here.
But then the deeper you get in the season, that target gets so large on your back that once again the fear isn't even the other teams that may beat you. You want to make sure you don't beat yourself. You don't overplay yourself.
And that will do it. The final score here in Franklin, yes, you're reading that right, folks, 75-25. The Franklin Lady Warriors absolutely put a pounding on the Watchung Hill Warriors here in Somerset. Scott, your final thoughts on this one and going forward.
Lady Warriors from Franklin did exactly what they were planning to come out and do. Seize control of the game early, control the transition and defensive side of the ball, and every time they had a chance, they put it in the cup. The Watchung Lady Warriors, credit to them. They put effort in from start to finish, but they were just outplayed on every side of the ball. They're going to come back, and they still have a good season to go, but I think they will be able to build from this experience. But at the end of the day, we saw a number 1 ranked team play like a number 1 ranked team.
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen what this gentleman's going to do in front of the camera, but other than that, an unbelievable effort by the Franklin Lady Warriors. We're going to go to break right now, but when we come back, we got the gal that is committed to Maryland University. Diamond Miller will be joining me on the HSG Network right after this.
This is the barbecue that Steve threw. These are the legendary ribs that were served at the barbecue that Steve threw. This is the bond that was inspired by the ribs that were served at the barbecue that Steve threw. These are the amazing real deals that led to the bond that was inspired by the ribs that were served at the barbecue that Steve threw. This is the store that offered the savings that, well, you know. Stop and Shop.
Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Fruit Facts, where today we're talking about mangoes. Not only are they good for juggling, They also lower cholesterol, help clear your skin, help with your eyes, and they contain 76% of your daily calcium. So stop by Fruitables today, where you can have a mango topping on any one of your bowls, where your meal is going to not only taste good, but be good for you.
We're back here on the HSG Network for our post-game show, and my guest at this time, Diamond Miller. Diamond, another convincing win over the Watchung Hill Warriors. Going into this game, did you guys expect to keep your winning ways? How are you guys staying humble? 16-0.
We just play basketball. Every time we step on the court, we don't really care about our record. We just play like it's our last time playing with each other because, it kind of is.
Now, I also saw, according to Scott, I think we tallied 4 block shots tonight. Is that a career high in one game? I know you try to be modest. You only try boast about your own numbers, but 4 blocks. I think it was in the first 2 quarters too.
Yeah. Just doing whatever I can to help my team win. So if it's more than 4, if it's 4, it doesn't matter to me.
How do you guys keep your heads on straight? I mean, 16-0, you obviously have 7 games left in the regular season, and then state playoffs come, and all these playoffs, the Tournament of Champions, where you guys fell short last year. How do you guys keep your head on straight? Is that the motivation because of last year's result?
Absolutely. We all want to win again, especially it's my senior year. I want to win again, but we just have a lot of focus. We have one goal, and that's to win, and we do whatever we can to win. So we work as a team. We do all the things you need to do to win. So I think that's why we're winning so much.
Now, the first couple quarters, it looked out of reach already tonight. Now, how does Coach Taylor actually talk to you guys on the sidelines? Is it keep scoring at will, no foot off the gas kind of mentality?
Yes and no. To a certain degree, it's like keep going. But if we're up by, we hold back a little bit because we want,
It's a show of respect.
Yeah,
it's a show of respect.
Yeah. So, but other than that, if it's a close game, if it's anything, we're going hard too.
Now, I know you have some kind of plans next year. Is that correct? I mean, from what we've read, we don't want to look too far into next year, but obviously the HSG Network would like to congratulate you on your ride to Maryland. What's that like? What's that feeling like knowing that next year you're balling again?
Yeah. I mean, it's what I do. I love basketball, and to play at that top competition next year, it should be a lot of fun. Knowing that everybody's just as good as you, it's going to be a battle.
The competition will definitely increase, and obviously before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs tonight to either you look up and down this roster. It's just a roster full of stars, between Jackson, the Skank sisters, the Afua sisters. You got a bunch of sisters going on your team.
I know.
And also, talk to me a little bit before we let you go about Majette. Christina Majette, a freshman, coming on in and taking this team by storm.
She's awesome. She doesn't realize how good she is as a freshman, She's so hard on herself. I'm like, Chris, you're good. You got this, You got so much time. But, yeah, seeing how competitive she is and how much she wants to win and help us win, it's just a good thing because she's such a freshman. She's so young, and she's learning from us, and she's going to be very important in a couple of years here.
I feel like it was just yesterday you were walking in here as a freshman. So, again, congratulations on the win tonight. Good luck going forward. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Diamond Miller. I'm Dave Sturchio for the HSG Network. Another Franklin Lady Warrior victory, 16-0.